Are you asking the right questions in your life? Maybe there's a lot of negative self talk and you feel a bit stuck and a bit helpless. Well, today I wanted to touch on the topic of quality questions and the impact they play on mental health and our growth and moving forward, certainly for me as a man. So, questions are the steering wheel of the mind, as one of my mentors or teachers taught me once, Peter Sage. And actually, Tony Robbins has a similar quote, and Peter once worked for Tony Robbins as well. And he says, "The quality of our questions determine the quality of our lives." And I think that's very, very true. If you're asking yourself questions, and I've had to, yeah, we're human, right? We always have to catch ourselves out. And I've certainly, in my struggles and challenges, a better word, when I've been not feeling so good, I've certainly asked myself the questions: what's wrong with me? Why is it so hard? And those questions, and what I got was a lot of negative answers, and therefore that impacted how I was feeling in the body. So becoming more conscious and selecting the questions has been really, really powerful for me. And it's not like an overnight process, like anything. It's something that's going to take training to ask yourself the right questions. It's going to require consciously becoming aware of the questions you're asking yourself. And if you think about people asking questions in general, look at the ones in maybe the workplaces who ask those questions that nobody else thought of, or the leaders out there. They're asking these really high quality questions, which makes them a lot of money, creates a lot of impact and mission and purpose in their lives. They've got really good questions. When we've got lousy questions, we get lousy answers and lousy lives, I believe. And this is something I'm just paying attention more to as I really work through my own mental health, which feels pretty good today, pretty relaxed, pretty peaceful. Got a lot done as well whilst I've worked on being. Yeah, just paying attention to my questions. And I'm a very process system person. And I think for me, creating systems is good, but you have to create systems to allow yourself to just be as a human being, just sit there and reflect, not doing all the time. It's a mixture of doing and being. I like to schedule being in, like just me sitting myself. But one of the things I've got is going through a selection of questions to really help gain more clarity for me, help me to work through things emotionally as well. Now, of course, there's other factors like breath work, sitting myself, and actually feeling into the parts of the body where maybe things like stress, anxiety, sadness have been held. But there's also joy and light that comes up a lot of the time. So I really want to go through my 5 questions that I go through as a process when I'm really digging through a challenge. So when there's like a consistent maybe thought or challenge that comes up in my mind, what I'll do is I'll write it down and then I'll journal through it. Now in the time, I'll sit with it and feel into the emotions. But if it's a reoccurring one, I'll then work through it. And it might be like something's really bugging me, and the action is I don't need to do the questions, I just need to schedule it in, and I tell my accountability partner. For example, my taxes, it might be in the back of my mind. I'm like, I need to do my taxes, I'm like, right, I'm going to do it this weekend, which I did. I responded to my accountant at least as far as I could do. But anyway, if you've got like an emotional or real challenging story, this is the process of quality questions I ask myself. Number 1. What is the situation, the feeling, and what is literally happening? So, for example, someone doesn't sign out of you in business. What happened? We're not going to be in business together. That's literally it. Or you break up with someone. You broke up, or it doesn't work out with someone. Like the same thing, I guess. But that could be dating, whatever. Or like you and a friend decide you no longer going to speak. So that's, you literally say what it is. Ask yourself what literally happened, and there's no emotion, no story. The second thing is ask yourself, what is the meaning I've been putting to this? Being honest. So you say, they're an asshole, they're difficult, life is hard, I'm useless, I'm worthless. Be honest. Ask yourself that question, right? And then the third thing is ask yourself, why do you believe that? And what else would actually have to make it factually true? So if you're feeling like you're worthless, maybe it's like, well, I believe that because this happened, but actually when I was young, a teacher shouted at me. But you ask yourself, what else would have to be true? Well, everyone would have to tell me I'm useless. I'd have to fail at everything. And then you can start seeing faults in actually the meaning you're putting to things. So that's the third question. The fourth question, this is where you power up, is what's the real truth, which is the opposite, that's the empowering meaning, and why is that true? So for example, you are loved, you are powerful, you are an amazing human being. Why is that true? And then you just list all the things you've done, the compliments you've had from people, the fact that you're even alive is an example. You're here for a reason, right? And then the fifth one, and I'm reading mine as I say these, what made me choose this and why am I grateful for? This can be quite a tricky one. So as an example, if like a business deal falls through, why did you choose that coming into your life and why are you grateful? Or like you broke up with someone, why did you choose that and why are you grateful for? Now, people don't like this kind of thing some people don't like this because it's like you have to look inside of you rather than be like, well, they're just difficult, life is hard, all these kind of things, because those things, yeah, take the blame away from us, but they also make us feel at the mercy of life as opposed to you creating it. So, for example, like I didn't work out with someone, why did I invite her into my life? And suddenly a change of my emotions. I invited her into my life, I like to think, because I needed to really work on myself even more, deeper as a man, and work on validating myself even more. That's why I invited that situation into my life. It allows me to see what I truly, truly want even more in a woman. It allows me to become the man and sit in myself and do even more in the work that I need to do to be a great man and not attract emotional chaos and things like that, like I've done in the past. So that's why I would have chose it. Like, and this is a bit of a spiritual and a soul level of something to come in. Or like I've lost a job before. Why did I choose that? I chose that to really get me clear on actually I was unhappy in life and actually my energy wasn't right and an opportunity to find something even better, right? So those can be quite a difficult like question to ask on the fifth one, like why did you choose something really harsh? Like obviously extreme ones, like you've lost someone, that's going to be a bit tougher. But if you're going through something like something still very tough, like a breakup, or like someone says something harsh, or you're having a hard time in your job or your business, then ask yourself, why have you chose this to happen? What's it trying to teach you? And why are you grateful for it? Because when you take that power back to yourself, the fact that somehow on a soul level or a spiritual level, you've chosen something to come into your life, that makes you more empowered to say, this is for me to level up. You can choose to accept that, or you don't have to choose to accept that. But for me, it's really empowered me to move forward with my life. So the quality of your questions are really, really important in life, and I think really help with growth and men's mental health. So I just wanted to share that today because they've really been helping me through tougher times, particularly in the last 2 months. So thank you for listening today, and I will speak to you in tomorrow's episode.